Welcome back. Well, Lloyd Allen and the traffic team are out and about on our streets this morning as we begin our Monday commute.
Stop you and take you to. I'm not interested in your...
Well, good morning, Ladon. Good morning, Bahamas. This morning we're giving you a first look at traffic. This one coming in near the intersection of East Street and Robinson Road. Now, just before we get started, we do want to advise members of the public, rather those public bus drivers who we've observed, as well as members of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, that they tend to do pickups right here in front of Miracle Tours. They are being advised that stop should not happen. That's considered obstructing traffic, and that comes with a charge of about $150. And so you do want to be advised, public bus drivers, that you should not be pulling over here on Robinson Road, that you should find the nearest bus stop. This morning we're also joined by Corporal Patrick Kemp from the Royal Bahamas Police Force Traffic Division, who's giving you an initial look at weekend traffic.
Good morning, Mr. Island, and good morning, Bahamas. And you're absolutely correct. We are at the intersection of East Street and Robinson Road. We do experience a number of infractions that takes place in this thoroughfare, mainly failing to keep left. And as you pointed out earlier, with the bus drivers in particular, that are stopping in the area of Miracle Tours, causing obstruction. And a lot of them, I don't know if they pay attention. I don't know if a lot of them can read. They should be able to. But they stop right in the front of the sign that clearly says this is not an official bus stop. So I'm warning the drivers out there to please pay attention to that and to avoid being ticketed. Also, over the weekend, we have had some 9 accidents. 2 of those that were traffic accidents that occurred with injuries. One of those was serious. And we're going to continue to encourage the drivers out there to pay attention. Plan your route and take your time wherever you're traveling through the streets of New Providence and the Bahamas. There's no need and there's no reason for you to exceed the speed limit to go anywhere in this country that's going to cause you to be ticketed or risk getting yourself an injury or risk injuring somebody else.
Well, as you can see as well from our drone shots, traffic definitely is flowing in this area. As you mentioned earlier, 9 traffic accidents over the weekend. That's 9 too many. However, accidents do happen, and sometimes it's beyond our control. One thing that is within our control, though, is wearing the seatbelt. I did some research over the weekend that talked about some of the safety tips or measures that can happen as a result of wearing the seatbelt. They obviously protect lives. There's been about an 87% increase of the use of seatbelts since 1987 to 2017. Any other things you've noticed when it comes to the proper use of seatbelt and how it benefits a driver?
Well, it benefits the driver in many ways. And one of those ways, obviously, is to prevent them from being ejected from the vehicle. And I must stress, whilst we're on the topic, we still have persons on Island who are still traveling, tracing out the street with their children in the front seat, not properly seat belted and in their proper seat. And I'm telling you, if we stop you, me and my officers, we're not going to be interested in your dry cry. We're not going to be interested in whatever excuse you can give, because there's no excuse you can give for your little one driving in the front seat unsecured. You will be dealt with accordingly, and you will find yourself before the courts.
Now, I watched a demo video as well. It said that if you're driving, like in an area like this, the speed limit it's about 25 miles per hour. And it demonstrated that at 25 miles per hour, in fact, if you should have a collision, that's the equivalent of falling from a 2-story building, which is still relative damage. And so, of course, if you do have a child in your vehicle, that child can be ejected from the vehicle, injured otherwise, or other passengers injured. Specifically, also for teen drivers who tend to, unfortunately, drink and drive. It's popular within that age group. Wearing seatbelt definitely saves lives.
Oh, it does. It does. And on top of that, if I may, I have to touch on this. It's a concern of ours. Persons are still utilizing their cell phones whilst they're traveling through the streets. And based on what you said about driving at 25 miles per hour, Lloyd, if you're traveling at speeds of about 30 miles per hour per feet, you're clearing at least 25 to 30 feet per second. And if you're not paying attention while you're traveling behind persons, especially if you're using your cell phone, and you're clearing about 25 to 30 feet per second, and you are about 10 to 15 feet behind somebody, at what point are you going to avoid colliding with that vehicle if you have to apply sudden brakes? All right? You don't have enough time. And based on the calculation, the time and the distance doesn't allow you the privilege of avoiding that vehicle. So I'm going to ask persons out there to please be mindful of the way you're driving. Pay attention. Stop the use of these cell phones. Make sure you're properly seat belted and your passengers.
All right, good stuff. So, of course, appreciate that update coming in from Corporal Camp this morning as you prepare to make your rounds on this Monday morning. Very busy here in the Robinson Road area. For the morning edition, Lloyd Allen, ZNS Network News.